Hey, it's Sam. Making this quick recording here. I'm actually at the Shivananda Yoga Ashram. You see behind me, I'm teaching at the International Medical Astrology Conference here. I have been for the last few days, but I just wanted to make a quick video about the upcoming eclipse that's happening on Wednesday morning. This is going to be a really interesting eclipse because basically what's going to happen is the moon is going to go all the way through the sign of Scorpio on the Purnima, on the full moon day, and then right when it goes into Sagittarius, that's when we're going to have the eclipse. So the eclipse will actually take place in the nakshatra of Mula, which means root, and it's about uprooting and planting seeds that grow deep and hopefully sweet fruit once we plant the truth and uproot the falsity in our life. So this nakshatra happens right on the galactic plane. This is the plane of our galaxy, which has been a very important mystical point in all ancient cultures. You know, the Mayans called it the Dark Rift. The Vedic people refer to it as the Vishnu Nabi, or at least the galactic core as the Vishnu Nabi. This is what the Mula Nakshatra is related to, and that's what the plane of the galaxy also refers to, this energy that comes to us from the center of our galaxy. So very important transformational time with this full moon in Mula Nakshatra, but it's actually the edge of Scorpio. So really the full moon day, as I said, the moon is going to be in Scorpio, and as the eclipse starts, and for much of the eclipse, it's going to be in Scorpio. Then the deepest part of the eclipse, like when you actually have the exact opposition, the sun-moon opposition, it'll be in Mula Nakshatra. Now, this is happening at the halfway point of the cycle that began with the new moon in Taurus. So the new moon in Taurus is about structure, or I should say the new moon cycle shows the overall lesson that we're working on this month, because the sun and moon come together at a point, and then we have 30 days and we work on that lesson. So we're actually still in the Taurus cycle, but we're having a full moon lunar eclipse happening exactly in Sagittarius, which is in the 8th house from it. So Taurus is very much about things like, literally like agriculture, but also wealth, value, and also growing a connection with things that bring us peace, contentment, joy, love. Taurus is the reflective feminine quality of Venus. So we're all in this mindset right now anyway, where we're trying to cultivate greater contentment, finding our deepest point of value, and whether or not we're actually able to even enjoy those things that we say we want. For instance, this is the cycle that we're in right now. We're all reflecting, do I have enough peace? Do I have enough connection? Do I have enough structure and solid, beautiful things in my life? And if I don't, is it because I push them away? How do I respond when faced with getting what I want? Am I able to receive it? These are big Taurus themes. And what do I value the most? Is it money? Is it peace? Is it people? Is it sensual pleasure? What is it? This has been the lesson for the last couple of weeks. We've been really reflecting upon this since the new moon in Taurus. Now this eclipse and this full moon is happening in Scorpio Sagittarius, right as the moon goes into Sagittarius, which I said, this is the nakshatra of Mula, which is where we uproot and we get rid of those things that are not necessarily taking us to the true path, the path of truth, the path of higher wisdom and teachings. Now, within that, however, we also have several planets still in Aries and in Taurus and Gemini. We still have Jupiter in Aries, and we have several planets in Taurus as well. And also, Sun and Mercury have now gone into Gemini. So planets are definitely spread out a little bit more at this point, and a couple of the nakshatras are important, especially, as I already discussed, the nakshatra of Mula, which exists right on the galactic plane. Opposite of that is the nakshatra of Mrigashira, which literally means the head of a deer's head. And we have Sun and Mercury in Mrigashira at the same time. So the Sun in Mrigashira shows that need to search, that restless longing for beauty, and that nature that's very much like a deer, that is at the same time curious but also powerful, and also that's placid and beautiful, and that is able to enjoy and wanting to enjoy a calm and peaceful nature, but also that sort of restless searching and longing for beauty. The deity of Mrigashira is called Soma, which is the god of the immortal nectar. And so this kind of search for the nectar of immortality in this kind of gentle yet kind of restless and skittish nature is also a big theme right now. And realize this is a lunar eclipse, so it's going to have a lot of impact on our mind for the next 6 months or so. The last lunar eclipse occurred on December 21st, 2010, on the solstice, and that was also had a big connection to Mula and Mrigashira nakshatra, and it also happened right on the solstice day and right on the galactic plane. This eclipse is happening sort of almost directly opposite that one, and comes after the moon has gone through Scorpio for that entire day. Then we start to feel the eclipse. Once the eclipse starts, the moon is at the edge of Scorpio, then the actual opposition occurs with the moon in Sagittarius. And then, of course, opposite the moon in Sagittarius is the sun in Gemini and in Mrigashira nakshatra. So it's these opposites, this opposite of Mula, which is about root and rooting down into truth, and uprooting falsity, which exists when we're looking back into the plane of our galaxy. That's what the Mula nakshatra is. Opposite that, Mrigashira is where we, instead of being rooted and planted, we're actually now looking for something to bring us that beauty and joy and to connect us with that Soma, that divine nectar in our mind, that nectar of immortality. A lot of these things going on right now. This is the big, these are very rich themes right now. The other big thing that's recently happened is Saturn has now gone direct. So a lot of things that you've been reflecting upon, a lot of your long-term plans that you've been sort of reflecting upon, you're wanting to move forward on them more now because Saturn has turned direct. So Saturn in Virgo is now moving direct, and you're ready to implement more of those strategies and plans now. The other very interesting thing and positive thing about this eclipse in Sagittarius is it's aspected by Jupiter, because Jupiter's in Aries, giving that uplifting and hopeful and righteous aspect, which brings good conduct, brings good understanding, and a sense of meaning and value to things, rather than just frittering away our energy on things that are really not so worthwhile. So again, this is happening within the context of the Taurus cycle, where we're trying to cultivate greater value, deeper values, and deepening our values and our connection to things that are of true meaning, rather than things that just give maybe temporary pleasure and then sort of wane. So this is just a quick message to you from the yoga ashram where I've been teaching at the Medical Astrology Conference. I wanted to make this quick video for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments below. Let me know what you think.